at the World Coffee. Thank you, thank you. My fans, they are my fans. Thank you. Please join to the stage, please come to the stage. Jaume and Davinia, your moderators, and they will moderate this session.
Thank you.
We are going to start with the rapporteur from table number 1. Wait, now the worst thing. Majid Al-Muhanna?
Yes.
Oh my God! Head of Research Culinary Arts Commission from Saudi Arabia, please. Best dressed, both. We are waiting for you, we are waiting for you.
So, thank you so much. Our table 1 was about feeding our imagination, gastronomy in the creative economy. So basically we had Sarma Khanum, Wendy, Jessica, Nita Osi, if I'm correct, thank you. And also Dr. Totoma, and Imelda. So basically the future. We're talking about 2050. We started our session with the song Little Boxes from Scotland, which was interesting. And later we have asserted the perspective that authenticity is key in 2050. Small scale versus large scale production. No standardized food. And also there was a discussion about one banana. Avoid the one banana. Our planet has a lot of biodiversity. So there's not one kind of banana, there are a lot of bananas over there. Biodiversity strengthened by community through creativity. That's our vision for 2050. Storytelling, once upon a time. More sweet options. Go back honey, using honey, more traditional sweetening methods on 2050. Property and harmony. Respecting nature instead of experiencing or educating on nature. Respecting nature is a key. It's an attitude towards 2050. Then we talked about the now, which is good, but. Innovation fatigue. 20 seconds. No clear career path. We need to go slow, but hurry up. Okay? Not enough skills passed down. But then how are we going to achieve 2050? Soil and social health. Education on farm and career path. Yes. Okay. And also exchange of youth, adapting tradition in a modern way. That's a key to achieving the vision on 2050. Creative roots, 2 minutes videos and documentaries. And we need gastronomy heroes. And also we need vision on policy and politics. And to hook with the strategy. Okay, thank you. What should I do with my paper? I keep it. Yes. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Here you go.
Now it's time for table number 2.
Eirini Makedona, Cultural Policy and Development Expert. Come on, welcome. Number 3.
We have 2 minutes, okay?
Wait.
I'm just putting
I know.
Okay, sorry.
Papailia.
Hello to everyone. I want to thank all the participants on our table. Our topic is tasting diversity and celebrating biodiversity in our food. So, please. Thank you. So, of course, we examined 2 different scenarios, a utopian one and a dystopian one. Of course, in the utopian biodiversity and cultural diversity flourishing, and in dystopia, the opposite. Finally, trying to find the pathway for a future 2050 with the utopian scenario, of course, I think that the most important thing that we realized is that there's no either or scenario. We have the two scenarios. We will have them on 2050. So we all agreed that the issue is political economy, because we believe that science, technology, and artificial intelligence maybe will give the solution in order a part of the community to have the opportunity to eat good food, to experience the cultural diversity. But the problem is with the rest of us, the big amount of the community that will not have the opportunity to experience all of this. So, of course, in the core of our solution is the policy making in order to be fair, in order to have good food, biodiversity, and cultural diversity for everyone. So, policy making in education for consumers, kids, and farmers, also policy making regarding the farmers to highlight the good initiatives from the farmers and give them all the things that they need in order to grow in this direction, and also to communicate and promote, but mostly to safeguarding biodiversity and cultural diversity.
Fantastic.
Without music, I won't.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Moving on to table 3 with Basia Papailia, Political Planning and Communications Director, South Aegean European Region of Gastronomy, 19. Come on.
Hello, at our table we imagined a future where gastronomic tourism in 2050 is slow, immersive and community-led. A future where food is not just something we taste, but a bridge connecting us with local producers, landscapes and stories. We also reflected on the risk of dystopia, of virtual headsets and global food courts that simulate culture. We, with Felix, Emiliana, Beatriz, Francisco, Ricardo, and Vitavat, we thought at the beginning to create something like a pyramid to show them, to start from the government maybe and then go to the private sector. But then we thought that it's better to have the intersectoral approach to show that each one sector has its own value. So from the government, we thought that empowering producers and farmers and artisans as storytellers is very important, like the beautiful example of Visit the Farm program of Catalonia. Also to certificate the good examples, the best practices. Some examples from the private sector is to involve in their operation local producers and chefs and products and recipes with respect to heritage, work together to create their own network of heroes, and of course be environmentally conscious regarding waste management and circular economy techniques. It was also stressed the crucial role of NGOs as shakers that blend all the other parts together. And we think that their role is crucial to have them on board. Otherwise, the road will not be easy. From the community's point of view, I think that each citizen should act as an ambassador, and joint associations to promote local cultures should be encouraged. And of course, conscious visitors are very important because, as said here, every bite counts. So that is the bridge, our path towards more conscious destinations of 2050.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to table 4 with Teodora Moraru, Vice President, National Union of Romanian Employers.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thank Patrizio, Delia, Maria, Dr. Samuel, and Ludovico for the diverse ideas on our table. Our table discussion was about nurturing creativity and innovation in the food sector. And we had the luck to taste the best chocolate in the world because Patrizio came with a context of the cocoa from Manabi, Ecuador. By 2050, we could live in a world where cocoa forests are vibrant ecosystems, farmers are innovators, and chocolate is heritage and art. Or we could face the dystopia. Forests cut down, cocoa vanished, culture forgotten, and production monopolized by corporations. So what we can do? First of all, we can involve farmers in the ownership of the final product, so they benefit directly. How? By creating cooperatives and strengthen the local ownership and resilience. Then we can make consumers aware of how much revenue reaches to the farmers. Adopt certifications directly on labels, online platforms, or even blockchain for trust and traceability, and guarantee fair trade at both national and international levels. On the educational side, we can provide grants and training the young people to study gastronomy, food science, and entrepreneurship, so they can start their own business in this field. Offer tax incentives to restaurants that are using the authentic products. Diversify productions. The rainforests must provide many products, not just cocoa, to build resilience instead of fragile profit boom. And work towards UNESCO heritage recognition. And last, empower chefs, young people and talent to spread the knowledge on social media and on a local site in order to make this national pride aware on all the globe. Thank you.
Moving on to table 5, Jerry Spooner, Regenerative Vanua.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I start, can I get my team members to stand up? No, get them to stand up. My very bossy team members. So, heritage in the soil, safeguarding traditional crops for regional identity and well-being. So I'm just going to go and highlight the points that there's more discussion around it, and it's very similar for all of us. Key here is, in the present, the challenge is producers are cultivating or not cultivating variety of crops. So mono-farming, commercial farming, and going on to this other point is for export. And that's very common in the Pacific too. There's this push and drive for big commercial farming, putting down of the forest so we can meet export demand. We sell good, valuable crops overseas, and then we bring in imported unhealthy food. And that's why Votausi, as the chair, keeps emphasizing on the nutritional, unhealthy living habits of what we're dealing with, not just in Vanuatu, but in the Pacific. So the not good bits of the present that we're dealing with, and the positives. So there's an appetite, there's a shift towards regenerative agriculture, regenerative agritourism, and regenerative gastronomy. And this is the 3 key programs out of the 5 that Regenerative Vanua, as an NGO, is focusing on. And also emerging, there's an appetite, an interest in rediscovering ancient grains, grapes, variety. There's this, especially in the youth, the discussion highlights the appetite, the interest in relearning the past in order to have a brighter, safer future. Going forward, pathway, the 4 key points that we've highlighted that we believe I should be highlighting it now is policy support to protect the consumption of local products, because there's this challenge when crops are out of season, there's this quick reach for imports. Education for schools and families, and also incentives through taxes for markets, restaurants, and hotels. Seed bank, there's emphasis on that too. So in conclusion, we're saying include the dedicated program in school education programs in the curriculum for regenerative farming, knowledge systems, market regulation to support such as 50%, for example, of products that need to be local, and then for reducing VAT on local products that are sold in the markets. And then the last one, because we keep emphasizing this week, in the climate crisis we're in, sustainability is not enough, as I highlighted yesterday too. Regenerative farming, regenerative agritourism, and regenerative gastronomy is the way forward. Thank you.
Moving on to table 6 with Henrik Brian Ziggers.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you to my lovely group. It's not always easy as a young man working with wonderful women and having to do the job I had to do. So I really have to make sure that I don't get the music, otherwise maybe we can dance together, that's easier then. Okay, at our table, we explored how gastronomy and the arts can strengthen regions, imagining a utopian and a dystopian vision, right? Ida was the one who had just drawn a very lovely story to make it more visual, and I'll just point out a few, well, just broadly point out the main aspects. In the utopian vision, gastronomy is part of everyday life and education, and children rotate between like tending school gardens, preparing meals, and visiting adopted farms. They learn directly from farmers and chefs, tasting seasonal crops, and discovering heritage products. And also tourists travel slowly, staying overnight in eco-farms, etc., making cheese, local preservation techniques are learned, arts and storytelling enrich these experiences, turning food into culture, identity, and community. And at the heart of this vision, there is balance and education, human beings in harmony with soil and sustaining rural life. The dystopian vision is rather the complete opposite. So children eat factory meals in front of televisions. Products are labeled as local, but they are not local because they're produced 100 kilometers away, come frozen, but are sold as regional specialities. And we discussed challenges to getting towards this utopian vision, actually. Yeah, maybe we can just change, because exactly the downsides, and then wonderful, isn't it? Thanks to the ladies. So we pointed out the megatrends, which are the main challenges, as for example, monoculture farming and climate change that threaten biodiversity. Lifestyle changes also reduce food to convenience, while economic struggles and restrictive regulations make rural initiatives difficult. We also know the administrative barriers slow innovation, and there is a real danger that utopia remains separate from daily life rather than becoming integrated into the reality. So I've got the music. Solutions would rather be exactly promoting like things, farm to school programs, edible tourism itineraries, and just also digitalization could be a gateway to engage cultural ambassadors, for example.
Moving on to table 7 with Patrick Sam.
Good afternoon, everybody. It takes a village to raise a strategy. So can my village please stand up? My village, where's the village? Please give them a round of applause. That's the village. Now the next question is, what happens to the village in 2050? And what we said is our dystopian context is culinary tourism is dictated, right? That's the key word there. In our utopian sense, food culture tourism is co-designed with local communities promoting deep connections and creative exchanges across borders. Co-design, co-creation, that's really our emphasis. What we are focusing on is food diversity, the culture, the way we live, and we need a paradigm shift. And so our contribution is really looking at the framework and saying no matter what it is, we have to challenge the principles, the processes, and the practices that are currently taking place in the now. The current principle in the dominant food narrative currently is that there's commercial and corporate capture of food production and consumption at global, regional, national, local levels, and this changes the image of food amongst us as individuals, human beings, and also within the concept of human development. So that leads to the marginalization of local food culture due to global tourism effects and the homogenization of food. In terms of the current situation, capitalists and private interest are using all kinds of tools to brainwash us into homogenized food systems, and we take pride in eating all of this global food. Currently, there's a majority of influencers that uphold these private interests because they get paid, and so money speaks louder than food. And so that's the problem we're addressing. What are we proposing at a principle level? Safeguarding, preserving, co-creating diverse food systems while building the capacity of communities to be confident, competent, and consistent when they're doing diverse food systems at the global, regional, national, and local levels. Our process is a multi-layered approach at various levels. The concept here is we have to share the responsibility, and then you'll see individual, family, community, schools, local, regional, national, all actions at all levels at all times, right? And lastly, our practices must be culturally relevant within the local context. ICH must be protected, and the time is up. Thank you.
Moving on to table 8, Chef Randy Anderson from Jamaica.
All protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, dream team. I invite you to feast your eyes with the task assigned. Now, how do we approach this? The utopia, promoting dietary shifts towards plant-rich foods, reducing food waste, supporting local and seasonal produce, and enjoying communities in decision-making, addressing symbolic barriers, culturally relevant options, and fostering leadership in community projects are also critical steps to create a food system that is both sustainable and equitable. What is currently happening now in 2025. Companies mask the quality and the facts about products by highly processing foods with preservative chemicals and enhancers, unhealthy packaging that are not food grade that also litters the environment. Food waste caused by unequal distribution and logistics and poor logistic situations and high cost. Unfavorable policies that benefit manufacturing cooperation and false nutritional claims. For example, products that is labeled sugar-free, bright and bold with a big star, while the product is made from corn syrup or concentrates. Now, how do we get to where you want to get to in 2050? Education. Public education for our communities, schools, workplace, with clinical experts and health promoting facilities. Collaborating, motivating, encouraging, claims, information, promotions, and embracing the diversity. With claims, we would make healthy consumption meaningful, fun, and exciting. Healthy consumption such as organic, farm-to-table, demystify inaccurate claims and information by highlighting health benefits versus side effects, communicate using multiple platforms such as digital, print, and social media by respecting various food cultures and traditions and consume local and seasonal with respect to communities.
Moving on to table 9, they are trying to fire me, I know. Samanti, Tak, Kanan, what? Amazing, come on, it's all yours, thank you. From Thailand, of course.
So, สวัสดีค่ะ So I hope you're still like having the energy of like how to make things change in 2050. So first of all, I'm representative from table 9. Thank you very much for all of my teammates who contribute a lot. We have an intense like conversation during the sessions, which is very good. So our team, our utopia is in 2050. Communities proudly engage in food storytelling. Public market are hubs of education, and children grow up knowing where their food came from. It's actually my utopia as well. So after discussion, we were thinking that what we are now is we had a lot of like things that happens in front of us, like people and children that doesn't really know what where the food came from. They just eat from the lunchbox that's prepared from school, and also the parent doesn't have time to educate the children about the food knowledge. There are a lot of things happen during this day. And then we think the pathway to achieve the utopia needs the main 3 elements from education part, social awareness, and public policy. So for the education part, it's supposed to be for everyone. It should start from the beginning when you were born, from the families, through kindergartens, secondary school, high school, and universities, and so on. Why we keep education so on? Because we cannot just educate the new generation. We also need to educate a person that existing now today. Otherwise, it's going to be not parallel. So we have to create a social awareness, make sure that everybody knows this is emergency situation. And then it's going to push up the public policy. So these 3 stakeholder needs to work together parallel and need to make sure that they are aware this is emergency situation. However, we also find out that it's also a challenge from like country to country, city to city, from rural area to urban area, and also when we have migration and people movement. This is going to be the factor that affect all of these 3 like elements that we have to include it in. So this is emergency, guys. We have to do it now.
2 minutes, amazing. Moving on to table 10 with Chef Adenik Adefila.
Hello everyone. Salutation to table 10. I think I had one of the most fantastic table. We had a lot of idea, and education was the key. And we wanted to also look at how we can give education from a friendly standpoint and not in a systemic structure that currently exists. I would just jump straight to the point. In the now, we realized that knowledge already exists, but there's lack of tool to enable this knowledge to be properly transmitted. We also saw that existing knowledge when it comes to food literacy in terms of recipe perseverance, harmful effects of food, where we had a conversation about how autism and gut health is actually very predominant in the now, but it's almost like we read these labels and we ignore the impact of that on our health. We also talked about storytelling. That storytelling has almost become branding strategy, where people just throw words around like sustainability with sources 5 kilometers away without fully caring about what the reality of those farmers are. We also looked at circular gastronomy, that gastronomy already exists, but people do not think about it from a mainstream, which is locality and local dense knowledge. Pathways that we look at were tailoring specific knowledge to local reality over one size fits all. We also look at about government regulation, that if these industrialized systems are being heavily taxed when they max knowledge or max any ingredient in the name of big words, they be heavily taxed and they're old, responsible, or shut down completely. We also talk about microschooling as a pathway. And there was another interesting thing that what did we learn from COVID? Should we look at another water crisis or another crisis? And in 2050, what we think about is not utopia, but protopia, where we see a system where microschooling is prioritized, thoughtful leadership is important, integration of food waste as an heritage of education, across subjects, not just limited to specificity, but across subjects. Recognition of diversity and microschooling and knowledge systems that are indigenous and locally tailored. That was our conclusion. Thank you.
Moving on to table 11 with Oscar Ekponimo from Nigeria.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Shout out to all my team members. We had a wonderful time together. So I'm just going to discuss and break down what we discussed about. Okay, I'm getting a bit distracted now, okay. So the name of the title of our table, or rather our topic, was Food as a Catalyst for Solidarity, Building Inclusive and Equitable Food Systems. And I'll just speak on the problem and the dystopia, and then I'll go on to the pathways. So we identified 3 key problem areas. 1 is regulation and policy. 2 is education and a lack of education, a lack of awareness. And then the third part is resources, access to resources, whether seeds, production, factors of production, and also things like the monopoly with GMO seeds. Now, what are the pathways? We broke down the pathways into 4 parts, right? And then we have like a hierarchy for them. The first key element is developing a social movement that is people-led. Because when people take ownership of their food system, then they have the power to influence policy. The second on that hierarchy is developing the awareness through education. Now, when they are educated and understand, hey, we do not need foreign cuisines, and a very wonderful keyword Robert said was the replacement of local cuisines with rubbish cuisines. That was funny. So the second part is developing awareness through education. And then the third in that hierarchy is traceability. And what we said as the buzzword or the phrase is eat more locally and seasonally. So when people know and they understand that the local food, they know where it comes from, it's transparent, and then the food system is very open and increases trust as well. And then the final key point is exploring transparent digital innovation using either blockchain, AI, or the kinds of solutions I myself presented yesterday with Chowberry e-food vouchers. So that's our presentation, and we're excited doing it. Thank you very much.
Moving on to table 12 with Omar Valdez, IGCAT board.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my team. The name of our table was Empowering Citizens, Food Systems in Our Hands. So the dystopia, I will start with the utopia, is to have in 2050 citizens that could make decisions on their food, on their food systems. And the dystopia is that people will eat cheap, packaged food, mass-produced, and I think this dystopia is the reality nowadays for many people living in cities, at least, and with lower income levels. And if we think about dystopia, it may be even utopic, this dystopia for some parts of the world nowadays, where food is being stopped from entering, like the case of Gaza, and used as a weapon. So it's very difficult now we had a discussion to decide whether this was a dystopia or a utopia for some people in the world. So taking all this into consideration, what we would like to have in 2050 is a reduction in the gap between the ideas and what we have today. And what should be done in order to obtain that? Well, first of all, and not first of all, but after discussing many different policy and actions that should be explored, and we found out that there were some common aspects that we summarize in a strategic plan that we call Somos Vida. Vida means life, so making for V, values, incentives, decisions, and action. So any action should follow, any decision should follow this, all the plans should follow this route. So some of the main issues is the disconnection from men to the land. So it's important to reconnect people with the origin of each product, educate and reivindicate a food system that is ethic, local, seasonal, and with a purpose. We also discuss about legal limitations, especially here in Europe. We were discussing the case that if you have more than 3 chickens, you may go to jail. So it's like liberalize activities for your self-economy, for your house, and incentivize and facilitate the entrance of entrepreneurs or cooperatives for people who want to join the rural area. So this is more or less our proposal. Thank you very much.
Moving on to table 13 with Per Torrisen from Norway.
Hello. Hello, it's on? Okay. Thank you. First of all, a big thank you to my brothers and sisters in arms at table 13. Excellent job. Let me see. The power of the plate, storytelling, and new narratives. Our utopia is that every food package in 2050 tells a story of place, memory, and culture shared and celebrated in schools, media, and markets. So, as you can see here, I put up an example of how a label should not look. Poorly written and hard to understand, even for me. So that's a lesson to be learned. Luckily, I have some modern technology, so I have it in a better version here on my phone. Well, where we are today, we see good food as something that's expensive, but also essential for our health. And the society needs to shift its priorities to value our food more. We can also see that people are increasingly willing to pay more if the food has a story and authenticity behind it. So that's a good starting point. The utopia that we have is that the power of storytelling is lost and food is anonymized and stripped of meaning and reduced to anonymous nutrient labels. That's where we don't want to go. So we picked 6 key points here to try and figure out how we can reach our utopia. We need to empower farmers and build stronger links between the farmers that produce the food and the consumers. We need to stimulate and subsidize small and local initiatives and farmers. We need to build network between the small farmers and producers so that they can stand up against the big global companies. We need teachers in preschool and in the lower grades to also be educated about food so that they, again, can educate our young ones. There must be rules and regulations for what labels needs to state, and product origins and quality also needs to be on that label. We need to get our idols, influencers, and celebrities to help promote good food instead of just looking at the money. We need consumers also to be educated about which food are harmful. We also need a strong policy and regulation. Taxes should be lower for food that are good for your health and higher for bad food. That concludes our session. Thank you.
Moving on to table 14 with Chef Joel Castanyer, La Buscana Restaurant.
Bona tarda. Bona tarda a tothom. Ho faré en català, Vale. Bueno, la taula 14 hem concluït amb 3 eixos, un de tècnic, un de regulació i un de social. Amb el tècnic, obtenció de vegetals adaptats al medi mitjançant la millora genètica i aconseguir uns espais de biodiversitat que requereixin menys insums. Regulació, un preu just per al sector primari. Punt 2, regulació activa del sector i evitar la concentració de la propietat. Amb això volem dir que no es quedi tot amb gent, o sigui, amb multinacionals molt grans i els petits desapareixin. El social, millora del sector primari amb coneixement de les persones sobre els productes i amb consciència. I segon, educació del patrimoni gastronòmic local. Gràcies.
Moving on to table 15 with Jordi Tresserras, University of Barcelona. I told you.
No sóc el Jordi. Exactly. I'm not Jordi Tresserras. Unfortunately, he's in hospital, so I'm doing his role. Jordi Tresserras està a l'hospital i faig el seu paper. Espero que aquesta introducció no conti molt temps. Gràcies, que si no és pànic. Molt bé. També en català, entenc que la majoria teniu aparells de traducció. La nostra taula era sobre el gust i el paper dels consumidors per revifar el gust. L'equip, molt agraït a tota la feina, la contribució ha sigut molt intens. Dir que hi havia cuiners, pagesos, gent del sector de l'educació, policymakers, i ho hem centrat molt entorn a quan parlem del gust, pensant molt en la cuina catalana, molt influenciats perquè el nostre provocador és el Carles Gaig, que no el veig, el Carles Gaig, però és una de les persones, té un restaurant de molts anys, que ha fet una feina i fa una feina extraordinària per posar en valor la cuina catalana. Llavors, resumint, distòpia i utòpia, paper ideal, l'utopia, que la cuina catalana, i podríem dir altres cuines locals, tingui el mateix prestigi que té actualment la cuina italiana, la cuina francesa, la cuina japonesa. La síntesi. La distòpia, l'infern que ha dit algú, que el 2050 no quedi res d'aquesta riquesa de la cuina amb els seus productes, etc. Dit això, ens hem centrat amb veig el rellotge, amb les propostes. I algunes han anat sortint de frent, no és estrany, amb els altres grups. Potenciar la conscienciació. Prendre que la gent prengui consciència. Hem subratllat el poder del consumidor. Reivindicar que cadascú de nosaltres, com s'ha dit aquell matí, quan es compra, quan es menja, quan et poses alguna cosa a la boca, tens una capacitat extraordinària de decidir, de tenir impacte. Llavors, quan posem TCT, vol dir cuina catalana tradicional, això que reforci la cuina i la relació amb els productes. A través de l'storytelling, del relat, de fer pedagogia, ha sortit molt en això, i tot això va associat, i també s'ha de fer molta feina, en promoure l'autoestima, en reforçar l'autoestima. Ha sortit el tema de premiar, s'ha posat molt èmfasis que les cases es cuini molt més cuina tradicional, la idea del consum responsable dels consumidors, una altra idea molt important, la governança. La política serveix per incidir en allò que col·lectivament decidim, que tinguem a través de polítiques, de normativa, a les escoles, en formació, en comercialització, incidit en aquest àmbit. Turisme gastronòmic sostenible, regenerable, conscient aquest triangle producte, territori i cuina. I acabo amb el tema de la innovació tecnològica. Com utilitzar la innovació, tota la tecnologia, les eines que tenim per incidir tot això. Si fem tot això, el 2050 tenim moltes més probabilitats que la cuina catalana i les altres cuines locals continuïn existint i siguin un patrimoni de tots. Gràcies.
And the last but not the least, move on to table 16 with Raquel Serrat, Unió de Pagesos.
Bona tarda. La taula 16 començava amb una pregunta i demanava si era possible la gastronomia sense productors. Crec que tots estarem d'acord que la resposta és que no. Però tenim un problema, perquè la distòpia de futur ja no la podem plantejar, perquè ja és. Cada vegada tenim menys pagesos, cada vegada tenim més especulació de la terra i de l'aigua, cada vegada tenim menys viabilitat de les nostres explotacions agràries i ramaderes i també tenim més competència de productes importats i depenent cada vegada més, especialment en determinats sectors, dels ajuts, de les subvencions. Quan ens hem imaginat quin futur volem, perquè sí que sembla que tinguem un present molt negre, però no creiem que és així, perquè hi ha moltes coses que es poden revertir i així ho creiem que es podem fer, ens imaginem un futur on la pagesia es reconegui amb l'autèntic valor que té, com a productors de primera qualitat, com a gestors del territori i també com que aportem equilibri territorial perquè som els que acabem vivint durant tot l'any al món rural. Per fer-ho possible només hi ha dos secrets, que les nostres feines siguin viables i que també gaudim amb equitat dels serveis bàsics al món rural. També necessitem fomentar els canals de venda directa i també cal molta autoestima alimentària, és a dir, que com a consumidors no dubtem, que ens creiem que quan anem a comprar el que fem a casa és el millor del món. I us volem fer... Tenim una idea molt utòpica, que és una idea concreta, però que l'any 2050, si es pogués complir, seria ideal, que és que el 80% de la compra pública dels productes que es consumeix als restaurants o als comerços o a les cases fos de producte local, de tot arreu. Sabem que és utòpic, però bé, per escriure no hi perdem res. I llavors us volíem fer dues peticions. Una, teníem un artista a la taula, veieu aquí que ha fet un dibuix. Tots a la taula teníem un platet amb uns quants carquinyolis. Els carquinyolis són unes galetes molt típiques d'aquí a Catalunya. Però algú s'ha preguntat si les ametlles són catalanes? Algú s'ha preguntat si la farina és catalana? No sé. Doncs aquest exercici, quan comprem qualsevol cosa, fem-el. I després també una altra petició. Quan anem a comprar, no ens qüestionem per què un producte és tan car. Qüestionem-se per què un producte és tan barat. Ja està, gràcies.
Thank you to all for your wonderful insights. Thank you, Jaume. No. Yeah, it should stay there. No, don't move. And a big applause for Jaume and Davinia, please, for this session. Now, come. Now we are going to give the prizes, okay? Okay. The best dressed, it's been for a girl always. My friend from Greece, come on, Baldia or something else. Dame un plato. Sí, come on. You have to give her. Yes. Yes, a surprise. Okay, now pause. The presenter with the best vibe, of course. Where is my friend? My friend, come on, Nigeria boy. Come. Okay, it's for you. And for the last one is the best idea. It is about your boat. So which table do you choose to win the prize? But, come on, but the number one. Give your hands. No, no.
Who votes for one?
Endogamic is endogamic. The number two, table two. Table three. Table four. It must be fair. Table five. Table six. Ah. Table seven. Table eight. Table nine. Table 10. You decide, eh? Table 11. 12. Table 12. Table 13. 14. 15. 16. It's up to you guys.
Yes?
Eh?
I think it's table 15.
Which one? 15 is the winner? Okay, you give him. Gracias. Good idea, Diana. You had a good idea. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, my God. Okay. Okay, of course. We now move to a short presentation on the Taste Grand Tour of Catalonia, a new culinary and wine route designed to guide visitors through the region's gastronomic offerings. Please welcome Patrick Torrent, Executive Director of the Catalan Tourism Board. Where is Patrick? Ah.
Thank you very much. Now let us show you a short video about the Grand Tour of Catalonia. Thank you.
Welcome to a land of short distances and long trails, within a few hours from the Mediterranean waves and the peaks of the Pyrenees, the rice of the Delta, the anchovies of La Scala, or the mountains of Prades, of the lush Montseny. Welcome to a small land to travel across, but great to discover. Made of water, wind, fire, and snow. Of age-old stones and landscapes to wonder. Trails where time stops, and so many other spots to discover. The pleasure of taking the longest path and sneak into a secondary road. Look around you with fresh eyes. Valleys, mountains, rivers and fields. Bell towers and cellars, orchards and dry farms. Taste the most admired gastronomy, smell the colourful fruit trees. Admire a heritage cherished throughout centuries and traditions that cross generations. Welcome to a great adventure next to home. Welcome to a journey full of journeys. Welcome to the Grand Tour of Catalonia.
www.grandtour.catalonia.com.
That's Catalonia. That's the Grand Tour of Catalonia. Let me say why Grand Tour of Catalonia. That started just during the pandemic, when we are having these deep reflections about what we want to be at the future, what we want to have in Catalonia as a tourism model for the future. And that was a reflection that gave us the opportunity to create new products, to reinvent tourism in Catalonia, to design this transition from volume to value, taking advantage of one element that was hidden for us during all our history. In the past, Catalonia has been promoted through different hubs of tourism: Barcelona, Lloret de Mar, Salou, Roses, Viella, but not with the itineraries, not with the proposal to discover the huge diversity we have as a destination. That was the purpose of the Grand Tour of Catalonia, to create, to reinvent tourism, to go to this 4D tourism through this product that is I think, one of the main priorities we have in the Catalan Tourist Board now. The Grand Tour of Catalonia started then, after 22, and now probably is at the center and the focus of our whole promotion all over the world, proposing this capacity to discover all corners, all elements, all flavors, all landscapes, having the capacity to create this full senses product. We have a product for taste, obviously, and is this Savor, the Grand Tour of Catalonia. This product is the consequence of our new tourism model. We are looking for a more conscious traveler, we are looking for a more conscious model, and we are looking for these people that comes to Catalonia knowing perfectly well what they want to do here in Catalonia and how can they discover our destination through our culture and through our gastronomy, but taking advantage, of course, of our landscapes and our weather, for sure. This product is the perfect product to attract conscious travelers, but need to have a conscious offer. We need to have conscious enterprises providing this kind of experiences in order to facilitate this experience. Is our utopia, when we are talking about utopia and dystopia, our utopia is to have in the future products like Grand Tour of Catalonia spread all over our landscape, all our geography, and providing these more sustainable, responsible, and regenerative products. This is the case of Grand Tour of Catalonia. And let me say what is in terms of geography. Grand Tour of Catalonia is more than 2,200 kilometers of itinerary. Is a perimetral itinerary in Catalonia, discovering our coast, our mountains, our hinterland, linking the best attractions of Catalonia. The best assets are part of this product, proposing full of activities in all these corners in the destination, hundreds of festivities and local culture at the disposal and for the visitors. Regions of Gastronomy and Wine. We have 25 collectives of cuisine that are showing the particular interpretation of cuisine in every region in Catalonia that shows this huge diversity we have as a landscapes, and roads where each bend veils a magic corner. The goals of the Grand Tour of Catalonia for us are this 4D strategy: deseasonalization, deconcentration, diversification, and distribution of wealth. Deseasonalization not only helps us to have people in fall or in spring, even in winter in our destinations, is an option, an opportunity as well, in order to facilitate to enlarge the stay in Catalonia. You know that the trend all over the world is to have shorter stays in the destinations. We need to enlarge it. We need to enlarge it in order to facilitate less food carbon print, and we need to have it thanks to a rich proposal of activities. Is that our proposal from the Grand Tour of Catalonia? The concentration. We need to spread tourism from the coastline. You know that in Catalonia, 91% of international visitors are concentrated in a band from 15 kilometers from the coastline. That includes Barcelona and the Costa Brava, Costa Daurada, and Costa Barcelona, and obviously Terres de l'Ebre. But in this just 9% of the land, we are receiving 91% of the visitors coming from all over the world. The rest of the country is white. Is empty of people, is an opportunity to discover because there's plenty of options in culture, in gastronomy, in landscapes, and etc. This one great opportunity then Grand Tour in order to avoid this concentration. Diversification. One of the elements that is probably singular in Catalonia's destination is the diversity we have in landscapes. Thanks to this landscape diversity is the product diversity we have and the capacity to have these rich gastronomies and this diversity in cuisines in Catalonia. And the last but not least, the distribution of wealth. We need to spread the wealth, spread the incoming receiving from tourism, not in this concentrated area in the littoral, but in all over our geography. It's for us important then to sell the brand Catalonia, not only as a summatory of different local brands, but with the conception of this diversity, of this huge opportunity that is to discover the whole Catalonia through the Grand Tour of Catalonia. This 2,200 kilometers is this itinerary with 5 sections. The first one from Barcelona to Tarragona, the second one from Tarragona to the city of Lleida, the third one from Lleida to La Seu d'Urgell in the High Pyrenees, the fourth one from La Seu d'Urgell to Figueres, and the last one from Figueres to the city of Barcelona through the city of Girona as well. Then these 5 sections could be done in 13 days. It's possible to have shorter experience, but more or less to have it in comfort is 13 days. And we are identifying the most scenic roads. We are avoiding highways and avoiding high-speed routes in order to facilitate the landscape, to facilitate that the itinerary could be part of the experience. It's not the channel to go to the destination. It's part of the experience. Then you need to enjoy it as well with these fantastic routes. Some of these routes are scenarios for films and for publicity spots all over the world, for cars, for example, because are scenic routes that deserves to be visited as well. After that, we think that we need to create different levels of a Grand Tour of Catalonia. The nature level from the Pyrenees to the Ebro Delta, from the Montserrat Mountains to the Cap de Creus. And in culture, we have the opportunity to discover the local festivities and the giants. For example, here is in Solsona, I think. The second one is in Empúries, the Greek and Roman remains in Costa Brava, the museums and the exhibitions we have related with gastronomy, or the Palau de la Música, one of the masterpieces of Art Nouveau, of the modernism in Catalonia. And what to say about food and wine? All of you have been participating in our experiences during this week in this food and wine experience, wines, cavas, and gastronomy, and plenty of experiences in order to enjoy this Savor the Grand Tour of Catalonia. 130 experiences created and ready to be enjoyed by our visitors. All the segments of this itinerary are plenty of activities that could be part of this proposal, of this legacy that we want to maintain after this Grand Tour of Catalonia during this year where you are World Region of Gastronomy. For us, it's a great opportunity to say that our message is much more than an itinerary, it's much more than a grand tour, it's a multi-level grand tour, and one of the most interesting levels for our visitors, and one of the most singular levels for our visitors is this Savor the Grand Tour of Catalonia. Here is a good map of what we have to offer to our customers. In these different sections, from Barcelona to Tarragona, we have the Malvasia de Sitges, we have the Romesco, for example, in the Garraf coast, we have the Chateau sauce, for example, some of you tasted it. We have, for example, the artichokes in El Prat de Llobregat, the chickpeas in Anoia, or the salt in Cardona, for example. In the second section, from Tarragona to Lleida, in Reus we have vermouth in Reus, hazelnuts in Reus, for example. In Delta de l'Ebre, mussels, oysters, for example, rice in Delta de l'Ebre as well, torrons in Agramunt, honey in Perelló. In Lleida, La Seu d'Urgell, cheeses, pears, fruits. In Lleida is one of the meccas for fruits in the whole Europe. Tupinet in Vall de Boí, peaches in Lleida, salt in Gerri de la Sal, or caviar nacarí, for example, in Val d'Aran. From Seu d'Urgell to Figueres, we have, for example, La Cerdanya trinchat, or truffles, or in Belbé de Cerdanya, or cheeses, for example, in the zona of La Seu d'Urgell. And from Figueres to Barcelona, taps de Cadaqués, anchovies in l'Escala, for example, rice in Pals, or bunyols in l'Empordà, etc. It's plenty of options to discover, not only to go to the restaurant, because you know that Catalonia is one of the areas in the world with the highest concentration of Michelin stars, but only to discover these products, to go to the farmers. Next weekend, for example, we will celebrate Welcome to the Farm. Welcome to the Farm is one of the main legacies that we received from the last European Region of Gastronomy 2016. It's a weekend with open doors for the farms in order to discover discover the options and the opportunities to talk with the producers, to discover the products, to discover the landscape that is providing us these products. And it's a fantastic experience that this year celebrates the 10th anniversary, and we hope to have a long life for this experience, because it's probably one of the best moments in order to, to empower the capacity of the producers in order to show the products. And well, that's the Grand Tour, the Taste the Grand Tour of Catalonia. We think that you have the opportunity here with the QR code to discover the content of this Savor, the Grand Tour of Catalonia, and for sure discover Catalonia through the Grand Tour and taste Catalonia through the Grand Tour. Thank you very much.
We can do the... Okay. I think they are here. I think. Thank you, Patrick, for sharing with us the innovative approach of Catalonia to enrich its culinary offerings. We have a special session because Catalonia received the baton from ASIR World Region of Gastronomy 2024 last year, when IGCAT experts and candidate regions met in ASIR region. In many ways, that was a precursor event to this, and IGCAT wishes to thank the Culinary Arts Commission for their contribution to the success of the World Region of Gastronomy platform. Since then, the promoting committee of Catalonia have worked hard to ensure a world legacy, led and initiated by Catalonia. We are honored to welcome to the stage representatives from Catalonia's promoting committee that have set the bar extremely high. Please, from Generalitat de Catalunya, Joan Godia, please can come to the stage. An applause for Joan, please.
Sí. Hola una altra vegada. Volem fer un reconeixement als impulsors de la candidatura a Regió Mundial de la Gastronomia. Quan vam començar, vam creure molt clar que necessitàvem uns acompanyants en aquesta presentació de la candidatura i vam pensar en 3 actors que els tenim aquí, no? A l'Acadèmia de la Gastronomia, amb la Fundació Alícia i amb el Bulli. Us he de dir que durant aquest període els 3 ho han fet amb molt entusiasme i una cosa doncs, que ens ha ajudat molt, no? Que ens han apretat. Teníem una pressió d'ells perquè es fessin les coses, perquè arribéssim a temps, perquè féssim més coses, i això és una cosa que els hi volem agrair. Per això avui els hi volem donar un petit detall, que és un morter. La picada és una de les característiques de la nostra cuina catalana i per això els hi volem donar aquest morter honorífic i que el vinguin a recollir. O sigui que cridem al conseller i cridem als 3 actors, el Carles Vilarrubí, representant de l'Acadèmia de la Gastronomia, el Toni Massanet, representant d'Alícia, i el Ferran Adrià està de viatge i no pot venir i el recollirà el Carles Gaig. Carles? Doncs, conseller... Sí que pesa, sí. Comencem pel Carles Gaig. Comencem, Carles Vilarrubí, vinga. Altre Carles. I el Toni. Toni Massanés. Si voleu dir alguna cosa...
just two words to say thank you, everybody, because without the leadership of the government of Generalitat, that couldn't happen. And then as well to Fundació Alicia and El Bulli Foundation. Thank you very much for everything. Thank you.
On behalf of Ferran Adrià, thank you very much. He's very, very happy to have you here in our country, in Catalonia, to give support to our effort and to make all our countries and our gastronomy better and with a great success. Thank you very much.
I also call to the stage the promoting committee of Manabí, Ecuador. Manabí has been selected by an international jury to be World Region of Gastronomy in 2026. The region is led by the prefect head of Manabí, Leonardo Ortega Arteaga. Ya lo tenéis.
Amigas y amigos de todo el mundo, hoy Manabí y Ecuador están aquí, no solo como la región mundial de gastronomía 2026, sino para compartir nuestra identidad con el mundo. Manabí, Ecuador, es historia, es cultura, es sabor. Cada ceviche, cada horno manabita, cada tradición que llevamos en nuestra memoria, hoy tiene un lugar en la conversación global. Somos la primera región mundial de gastronomía en todas las Américas. Y esto no solo es un logro, es el reflejo del esfuerzo de nuestras comunidades, de nuestros productores, de nuestras cocineras tradicionales y de un comité promotor que ha trabajado con pasión y visión para llevar a Manabí a este momento histórico. La gastronomía de Manabí no es solo alimento, es memoria viva, es creatividad, es identidad, es innovación y es desarrollo. Cada plato que servimos cuenta la historia de nuestros campos, de nuestro mar, de nuestra gente. Hoy desde Barcelona decimos con orgullo que Manabí y Ecuador son destinos de sabor, de cultura y de innovación. Queremos que el mundo nos visite, que conozca nuestras rutas, nuestras tradiciones y la fuerza y bondad de nuestra gente. Este reconocimiento también es una invitación a seguir soñando, a trabajar unidos entre gobiernos, instituciones, las universidades, y las comunidades, porque cuando lo local se une con visión global, lo posible se transforma en realidad. Agradecemos profundamente al IGCAT por reconocer nuestra gastronomía y nuestra cultura, y a la Generalitat de Cataluña por abrirnos sus puertas y servir de inspiración para proyectar nuestro legado al mundo. Este reconocimiento nos impulsa a seguir soñando, a fortalecer nuestras alianzas y a demostrar que lo local, cuando se une con visión global, puede transformar al mundo. Manabí inspira, conecta y lidera. Mostramos que es posible respetar el pasado, transformar el presente y construir un futuro que deje huella a nivel global, con paz y prosperidad para todos. Y para cerrar, una frase que nos acompañará siempre y que define nuestra misión. From Manabí and Ecuador to the world, flavor is cultura and cultura is power. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias a todos. Les invitamos a ver el video promocional de Manabí, Región Mundial de Gastronomía 2026. Gracias de todo corazón a Cataluña y al IGCAT y a todas y cada uno de ustedes.
Manabí is a land of wise hands and open hearts, where identity is served with warmth in every gesture. Here, each dish tells a story. Each ingredient has an origin, and each table is a bridge between generations. Our culinary heritage lives on in the community, in kitchens open to the world, in the wealth of products that have nourished Ecuador and that today are conquering new horizons. Manabí not only feeds, it inspires its culinary identity, reminds us that tradition and innovation can walk together. Today, from this summit, we announce to the world that Manabí is projected to become the next World Region of Gastronomy, an award that gives recognition, that celebrates our heritage, our diversity, and our cultural strength. Thank you, Catalonia. And we invite you all to the World Gastronomy Summit next year at the middle of the world, in Manabí, Ecuador. Manabí, identity and flavor. Manabí, ancestral gastronomy.
Thank you, Mr. Arteaga, for your warm invitation. I think next year we'll be there, all of us. Thank you very much. We now move to the World Gastronomy Summit Conclusions and Declaration, a global call to recognize food as culture. Please welcome Dr. Diane Dott, IGCAT President, to present the Summit Declaration. An applause for her, please.
Wow, what a great World Cafe, and what a wealth of ideas that we can take away with us. And I promise that IGCAT will put your ideas together in a report and share it with you all soon, so that you could all really gather all of those ideas and take them home with you. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, esteemed colleagues and friends, as we draw this historic gathering to a close, it is my great honor to read aloud the World Gastronomy Summit Declaration on food at the heart of cultural policy and community well-being. And I am hoping that you will join with me in adopting it officially today, although I know many, many of you have been working with me for months to define the wording of this declaration before we came here. And so we have it available for everybody. Many of you have already sent your signatures and your logos affirming your agreement to the declaration already, and we're very grateful for you doing so. More than 40 institutions, global institutions, national institutions, and regional institutions. So we know we have a very strong commitment to this declaration already. If you haven't signed already, do not worry. Our website is open at worldregionofgastronomy.org, and the declaration is there, and the opportunity for you to send your signature and your logos, and we will continue to collect those in the coming weeks so that we really can send a very strong message around the globe. As I say, it already has so much support, but I'm going to read it now, and then we will decide if we adopt it or not. So bear with me. We, the undersigned, gathered in Barcelona at the inaugural World Gastronomy Summit in the presence of cultural leaders, policymakers, chefs, producers, scholars, and representatives of civil society, we declare our shared commitment to recognizing, preserving, and celebrating food as a fundamental pillar of cultural heritage and identity. We affirm that food is far more than nourishment. It is a living expression of culture rooted in memory, territory, tradition, creativity, and community. Culinary practices connect generations, narrate the histories of our peoples, reflect our natural environments, and shape our shared sense of belonging. On the eve of Mondiacult 2025, we call upon governments, international organizations, regional bodies, and civil society to join us in recognizing food as a cultural heritage and therefore integrating it fully into cultural, agricultural, tourism, and education policies. Supporting local and regional initiatives that promote sustainable food systems grounded in evolving cultural traditions and promoting cuisine and its ingredients. Empowering youth and communities to preserve and innovate upon their gastronomic heritage with pride, investing in producers and protecting regions' ways of life. Encouraging research and storytelling that document and celebrate food traditions across the globe. Fostering inclusive dialogue that bridges cultures and generations through the shared language of food. This declaration is inspired by UNESCO's leadership in recognizing foodways as part of world's intangible cultural heritage. And it is in a year marking 15 years since UNESCO recognized the Mediterranean diet as intangible cultural heritage. So let this declaration stand as a milestone in a growing global movement that calls for gastronomy to be placed at the heart of cultural policy and community well-being. Together, we commit to nourishing both people and planet through the protection and celebration of one of humanity's most profound cultural expressions, the food that defines us. Do you adopt it? To all of you. I'll take that for a yes. We agree. We've adopted it. Good. So I wish to extend our deepest thanks once again to the government of Catalonia. Your leadership and your vision as World Region of Gastronomy 2025 have made this summit possible. Your commitment has shown how gastronomy can unite cultural pride, sustainability, and innovation. You have set the bar very, very high. You have a big job to do, Manavi, but I'm sure you can do it. I would like to thank, on that note, all of the people who were involved in the organization of this event, particularly the technical support teams from the Department of Agriculture and from the Catalan Tourism Board, and also my own team from IGCAT. You have been absolutely marvelous in pulling this event together. And I've lost myself now. Oh, and I also want to thank the teams at the back, the technical teams and the interpreters who've done a marvelous job for us. And I really want to thank also the organizational events team and the catering. Hasn't it been absolutely delicious? A huge round of applause for the catering. They really proved why Catalonia is World Region of Gastronomy. You can be very, very proud of the impression that you have given to people. Everybody has been coming to me and saying, this is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. I said, well, Catalonia is amazing. So it's what has shaped this event. And I want to thank all of you. If this summit has been amazing for you, as it has been for me, it's because every single one of you in this room is an amazing person. And when you bring so many amazing people together, the energy is really astounding. Your passion, your knowledge, and your dedication in contributing to this milestone event has been so important. I think not just for me, but for many people who say that they will go home nourished in many, many senses, energized, and ready to confront, some of the challenges that they have in their regions, because quite often in the regions, you are the one pushing against the tide, against what's going on. So to be in a room with people who share this knowledge, and I call you enlightened people, people who really see what we need to do and why we need to do it. Together we have affirmed that gastronomy is not only a matter of taste, but its identity, its resilience, and it's our future well-being. So let us leave Barcelona inspired, united, and committed to nourish both people and planet, to honor our pasts, invest in our futures, and place food at the heart of cultural policy worldwide. Thank you, everyone, and thank you. 1, 2, 3. Visca Catalunya!
Thank you, Diane. You are a showwoman. To close the summit, we invite Miquel Samper, Minister of Business and Labour of Catalonia, to deliver the final remarks. Please come to the stage. Thank you.
Bona tarda a totes i a tots. Bones tardes. Good afternoon, senyor Joan Gòdia, director general d'Empreses Agroalimentàries de Qualitat i Gastronomia, senyor Patrick Torrent, director executiu de l'Agència Catalana de Turisme, en representació de la Fundació Alba, senyor Toni Massanés, en representació de la Fundació Albollí, senyor Carles Gaig, i en representació de l'Acadèmia Catalana de Gastronomia, el senyor Carles Villarrubí, distinguido señor prefecto de Manabí, señor Leonardo Orlando Arteaga, Doctora Diane Dodd, thank you very much for your conference and thank you very much for your words of Catalonia. Permítanme que les hable un poquito en castellano al principio, porque quiero dirigir unas palabras al prefecto, al cual quiero felicitar por el nombramiento, que ahora no sé dónde está, no lo veo, allí, perfecto. Felicitarle por esta distinción, que no es nada menor, la de durante un año ostentar el honor de poder ser la región mundial de la gastronomía. Nosotros estamos a punto de finalizar este honor que hemos vivido en Cataluña y un verdadero honor, valga la redundancia, el cederle el testigo, aunque sea de forma simbólica, de esta distinción que nosotros aún tenemos a día de hoy. Y decirle que me siento terriblemente orgulloso de hacerlo, pero que la responsabilidad que le paso no es nada menor. Y permítame que le explique el porqué. Usted coge el testigo de la distinción que ha poseído Cataluña, que está poseyendo todavía, como región mundial de la gastronomía, y quisiera explicarle, más allá de que le hemos regalado un mortero y una mano de mortero y un olivo, que es simbólico de nuestro país, lo que significa la gastronomía para Cataluña. En España, en el sur de Europa, se come muy bien. Muy bien quiere decir muy bien. Y usted puede comer muy bien en Turquía, puede comer muy bien en Grecia, en Italia, en Francia, por supuesto, pero en España aún se come mejor. Y aquí en España tenemos una cierta batalla, que es la batalla de dónde se come mejor de España. Y creo que podemos decir con orgullo que es en Cataluña. Y le voy a explicar por qué. Le voy a explicar por qué. En España se come muy bien en todas partes, es cierto, pero hay una rivalidad histórica con Euskadi, con el País Vasco. Ahora venimos nosotros precisamente de estar unos días en San Sebastián, hemos comido de fábula, esa es la verdad, pero lo que era la cocina española tradicional, vasca tradicional, catalana tradicional, es decir, para que usted me entienda, la cocina de nuestras abuelas, hubo un momento que alguien la transformó. Y mientras estábamos en una situación de casi empate técnico con Euskadi y con alguna otra comunidad de España, pues aquí alguien dijo hay que dar un paso para ir más allá. Y estoy hablando de Ferran Adrià. Ferran Adrià dijo, ¿cómo puedo hacer que lo tradicional, que tanto gusta en todas partes, en todo el mundo, además le añada la innovación? Y se inventó cosas muy raras, como por ejemplo esferificar una oliva. Usted se come una oliva, una aceituna, esferificada por lo que innovó Ferran Adrià y le explota en la boca, ¿no? Y dice, ¿eso es bueno, es malo? Es diferente. Pero sobre todo es poner la cocina tradicional en otra escala. Ferran Adrià y detrás suyo muchos discípulos, como por ejemplo els germans Roca de Girona, muchísimos más cocineros. Quiero recordarle, por ejemplo, que actualmente el mejor restaurante del mundo está en Barcelona, es el Disfrutar, pero hemos tenido otros restaurantes. Primero el Bullí de Ferran Adrià, después el Celler de Can Roca de los hermanos Roca, por tanto, 3 restaurantes que han sido los mejores del mundo. Dieron un paso adelante, convirtiendo lo que era la cocina tradicional en algo distinto. No se trataba ya de ir a comer nada más, sino de tener una auténtica aventura y una auténtica experiencia. La cocina que reinventó Ferran Adrià, los hermanos Roca y tantos cocineros que hemos tenido y tenemos en Cataluña, hizo eso, pasar de ir a comer, pues para comer bien y dejar de tener hambre, en convertir nuestra cocina en una auténtica experiencia. Una auténtica experiencia. Y le explico todo esto para que sepa usted que coge un testigo que pesa mucho, Pero también le tengo que decir que ahora cuando he visto este publireportaje que ustedes han hecho, me han venido ganas para ir rápido ya a poder gozar de su cocina porque la verdad es que el aspecto era muy bueno. Y además, ustedes han dicho una cosa muy bonita, que es que no solo el cocinar, sino que es el producto. Aquí nos acompaña un representante del Departamento de Agricultura. Hemos dirigido desde el Gobierno de la Generalitat, desde 2 departamentos, lo que ha sido, lo que está siendo la región mundial de la gastronomía. Por un lado, empresa y turismo, aquí nos acompaña un director ejecutivo de nuestra Agencia Catalana de Turismo, pero otra muy importante, agricultura. Y usted dirá, ¿por qué? Pues porque la cocina nuestra es elaborar, pero el producto también. Un día hablaba con un excelente cocinero y me decía, Cataluña tiene una cosa que no tiene ni Francia, que durante muchos años alardeó de ser la mejor cocina del mundo, que es que en una zona tan pequeña como es Cataluña, con una extensión tan pequeña, somos capaces de tener el mejor producto. Una fruta extraordinaria, una verdura extraordinaria, una legumbre extraordinaria, un pescado extraordinario del Mediterráneo y una carne buenísima, por ejemplo, en nuestro Pirineo y en la provincia de Gerona. Y eso nos hacía distintos, porque podíamos cocinar cualquier cosa. Bueno, ya le he pegado el rollo de lo que és Catalunya a nivell gastronòmic. I ara a vostès els vull dir una altra cosa. Miri, jo sóc el conseller, com saben, d'Empresa, de Treball i de Polítiques Digitals. Coses bastant avorrides, però si hi ha una cosa que és agradable, si hi ha una cosa que et fa sentir a gust, encara que sigui un dissabte a la tarda que preferiries estar veient el Real Madrid, Atleti de Madrid, que estan jugant ara amb la teva família, és precisament temes relacionats amb la gastronomia. I per aquí he llegit abans que hem de reivindicar que la gastronomia sigui cultura. És cultura. Que ningú tingui cap dubte, és cultura. I problema el té el que no cregui que és cultura. Jo els posaré un exemple molt domèstic de casa meva, però la meva dona, que organitza tot el que passa a casa, però de forma especial els viatges, té totalment prohibit, és amb l'únic que interfereixo, que és que si hem d'anar a algun lloc m'ha de garantir que es mengi bé. Perquè la gastronomia és no només cultura, és una forma identitària dels països, és una forma de fer amistat. Quina cosa més maca que trobar-te amb uns amics dinant, sopant o inclús esmorzant. És una forma, en definitiva, d'entrellaçar bones relacions i, per tant, la gastronomia mereix aquesta qualificació de cultura i d'algú més. La gastronomia l'hem de posar en el centre del turisme, per exemple. Nosaltres estem fent polítiques turístiques que graviten entorn a aquesta gastronomia i, per tant, li hem de donar la consideració que mereix. Vostès fan que això sigui possible. Aquí hi ha una representació extensa, mundial, diria, del que és la gastronomia. Catalunya va tenir l'honor de ser regió mundial de la gastronomia durant aquest any, encara ho és, però va ser-ho també l'any, no sé si 16 o 17, a nivell europeu. En allà començàvem a rebre els fruits d'aquesta transformació que jo li deia que els nostres cuiners innovadors van portar endavant. Però, malgrat les vicissituds i necessitats de les nostres societats, de les nostres economies, la gastronomia mereix estar en el centre, tant aquí com a Ecuador en aquest cas. Lo felicito de nuevo también porque he escuchado y no lo sabía que ustedes van a ser la primera región de todo el continente, no solo sudamericano, sino de toda América, en tener esta distinción y, por tanto, es una forma más de entrelazar las relaciones entre pueblos que, déjenme que ahora hable de otra cosa que no es precisamente gastronomía, una relación que tenemos que cuidar entre todos. Nuestro mundo pasa un momento muy delicado, con guerras indeseadas, no solo las más conocidas de Rusia y Ucrania, y Gaza, Israel, sino muchas otras no tan conocidas, que hace que este tipo de vínculos que podemos tener entre países, entre regiones, lo tengamos que cuidar muchísimo más. Un mundo en paz es un mundo mejor y sin duda que los fogones, los platos y las cocinas van a colaborar para que sea así. Muchísimas gracias, que pasen una buena estada en Barcelona y en Cataluña y esta es su tierra, esta es su casa, siempre que lo necesiten. Hasta otra.